YouTube, it's your boy Coach Jamel. From this title, you can already see the top tennis drills, and you kind of see what I'm talking about a little bit later. But these tennis drills are slightly different. It's not your average forehand and backhand and down the line and cross court, but it's more about how to attack drills and learning how to drill the mind mentally. So what I want you guys to do before we even get too far is hit the like and subscribe button, because this information is something you don't want to miss. Guys, let's push what we're about to do with the boundaries of our game and the boundaries of our life. Man, let's push it. And so what you'll see here, you'll see a small little clip. We'll come back and I'll show you those top tennis drills and what we can do to impersonate those greatness tips on ourselves and on others. All right, coaches, listen to this one. All right, YouTube. So what you just saw is a snippet, two little screenshots of Juan Del Potro playing Dominic Thiem. And what you see is a player who was down, who was out, who's getting ready to let the match go, honestly. He was sick. He was battling the flu. All the commentators were saying he was out of it. His feet were crazy. He couldn't buy a forehand. I know a lot of us as players, a lot of us as athletes, period, we get it. We get it. I have been there. You can't buy a forehand. You can't figure it out. So what kind of drills do we use to fix this in a match? Well, normally you practice before you get to the tournament or to whatever match you're playing. But mentally, what drills do we do? And that's really what I want to key in on just for this particular match and for all of you guys. So the first thing I tell any students that I've ever had a chance to work with is know your goals and set your goals. Be willing to know where you want to go in this game and how far you want to take this game. It's really important and it's really vital to really understand that, hey, look, I want this game. I want to excel at this level, and this is what I'm shooting for. Now, I'm not saying that you write it down on a piece of paper and now it's gold. What I'm saying is you know what you're achieving and you know what you're setting yourself at, and you put yourself in a position to achieve those things by how you train, how you eat, how you sleep, the workouts that you do, the lifting, the running, the things that you hate that will make you better. Those are the things that you do. So the biggest thing is to really just know, set your goals, and be willing to put those goals in play every time you go out on the court. Whether it's I want to be more consistent on my forehand or backhand, whether it's I want to be more consistent in my work ethic and the things I do in life. Be willing to attack those things. The second thing is give yourself what you're worth. I preach this so adamantly to all of my players, and even to myself. Give yourself what you're worth. If you feel like you're worth 100%, then don't give me a 50% practice. Don't give me 50% effort. I string for a particular retailer, and I string a ton of rackets. I'll be honest, I string a ton of rackets. I think tomorrow I'm looking at 17 or 18 before I even touch the floor. It may even be more tomorrow, and it's not a bragging thing because it hurts. Fingers, callus, sucks. But one thing that I do, and I think the success of where my store is going and even the success of me as a stringer has been approached is I give myself what I'm worth. So I treat each customer rackets like it's my own. I take time to clean the rackets. I take time, and if I see something wrong in it and I can fix it, I fix it in the spot. because I want the customer to get the best possible experience. And the same thing that applies in your game. You want to get the best experience out of what you're doing. And so you have to give yourself what you're worth. Push, and push to give yourself what you're worth. It's super, super important. I'm going to touch on that on a lot of different videos, but please push yourself to give yourself what you're worth. Don't give yourself half of what you're worth, because you'll never really reap the benefits. The players that are top in the world, those athletes, those superstars, those entrepreneurs, they give themselves what they're worth, and they push themselves every day to become better. They stay with the goal, and they continue to give themselves what they're worth. The third thing is to embrace your fears. People are afraid to embrace their fears. I've had guys come in and I don't fear anybody. It's not about fearing anybody. It's so much different. It's more about what you do when you're faced with adversity, and maybe you don't say you're fearful of something, but there's so many players afraid to lose. I hate to say that. How can you be afraid to lose? Well, I had to learn that for myself. And so I'll give you a little insight on that. Being afraid to lose isn't about not wanting to win. That is ridiculous. I don't know anybody who wants to lose. I don't train anybody who wants to lose or doesn't want to be good. They just train just to train. Excuse me. The biggest thing is not trusting your training. The fear that if I go for the shot, even though I've trained and I've done it hundreds of times, I'll miss. That's players being afraid to lose. And it's so many times that we find out that honestly, we're afraid to lose. We get out there, we get tense, and we forget our training. A very popular club in DC, they're all about trust your process, trust the training, trust your training. If I train for something, go out there and execute the training. And guess what? If I fall short trying to execute what I've been training for, that's growth. That's growth, and that's what you're looking for. Get out there and trust your training. So embrace your fears, man. If you're afraid to hit that forehand and now you've gone out and you train for it, just go for it. The worst thing you can do is not go for it and then look back later and say, well, I lost that match. Well, not only did you lose the match, but you lost the match and you didn't go for what you've been training for. So now you've wasted time, you've gone backwards. So embrace that fear. The third thing I will say is communicate with yourself and your support team and make it meaningful and purposeful. A lot of times there's a lot of coaches. There's a coach, there's a team that's really supporting you, whether it's your high school team or your college team. Heck, whether it's your mom and dad or a grandparent, whoever that support system is, as well as yourself. Man, make the communication that you have with that particular individual, with that group of people, make it meaningful. Tell them, hey, I need help. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not know something and want to understand it more, because if you can understand it, then maybe it will help you excel. One of the biggest things I'm all for is ask. Ask the question. Ask if I know what something is. If you don't understand a drill, if you don't understand why you need to hit this shot that way, ask. I work with a coaching staff in my nonprofit, and I'm always, hey, okay, we're doing this drill, but why? What are we looking to get out of it? Because I know a lot of my students don't always ask, and they're just like, well, coach said do it, I'm gonna do it. It's a great thing to do. But understand why you're doing it so that it's easier to apply it. And then make sure that when you talk to your support team, you're building yourself. You don't need to tear somebody down all the time. You didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this. Instead of saying those things, ask the questions, well, what were you thinking about when you approached this shot? Or what were you thinking about when you took this opportunity? Were you going for a higher percentage shot? Did you think that you had an opening to go for a lower percentage shot? How did you execute these things? Could you have done something different to be more successful? Because sometimes you hit a good shot and it goes in, but it had no purpose. Were you trying to get something out of that shot? Were you trying to set it up for something later on? Did it just happen to be a winner? Those are all things that we kind of think about. And so that communication with your coach or your support system, man, it's got to be meaningful and purposeful. All right. And then the last two, man, the first one, respect the game. Respect the game and respect the game of others. There's guys out there, there's ladies out there, they push and push and push and they grind. And guess what? Sometimes you're going to do all of these things that we just spoke about. Know your goal, you set your goal, you give yourself what you're worth in practice, you communicate well, you embrace your fears, and you get your head beat in. It happens. And guess what? You got to respect the fact that somebody else out there is doing the same things that you're doing. And instead of running away from that, you should enjoy it. Enjoy knowing that, you know what? Somebody out there that's grinding just a little bit harder than me. And so next time, it's not going to be the same result because I want better for myself and I'm going to give myself what I'm worth. And if you stand in the way of giving me what I really feel like I'm worth, then guess what? I'm going to have to get you out of the way. And the only way I'm going to do that is go back to the drawing board and go train harder. Go push myself even further. Push yourself to the limits and then push yourself past the limit. That's important, man. There's no limits. Push, push, and push. And then the last thing, after we respect the game, we respect the players that are better than us, and we respect the players that aren't as good as us. Love the game, man, and love to grow. All right? That's the last step. Man, love to grow. Enjoy the wins, enjoy the losses, and embrace it and say, you know what? Even though I won this match, even though it was easy, I could have done something a little bit better. Not that I'm going to have a perfect match or a perfect game or a perfect set, but you know what? I can do a little bit better. Next time, I'm going to really set up the points to make it a little bit easier on me because I burnt a lot of energy in a match that I won 0-0 or 0-1 or 1-2. But did I play smart? Maybe not. So I hope this, guys, I really hope this helped you guys. Man, these are mental drills that we go through and we should always continue to think about. This is why the match with Juan Del Potro and Dominic Thiem, man, Del Potro, I really commend you, man. You knew what your goal was. You set your goal. You took your time. You put in the work. And honestly, man, that match belonged to you, man. You pushed and pushed and pushed. And I love that about it, man. So next week, we got some more stuff coming up. I'll have the video with the Babble I Rep. I need to kind of smooth over some things and make sure that I don't release anything that's not supposed to be released. But I think everything's good on that, man. You guys enjoy. Hit the subscribe button either this way or that way, whichever it is. And hit the notification bell. Like the video. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you want the next topic to be, man. Enjoy, you guys. This is Coach J signing out.